Before this story begins, let me tell you what it is about. It is about a night when I heard something scratching at my bedroom door. Not loud. Not violent. Just slow, deliberate scratches, like fingernails dragging across wood. I told myself it was the house settling. Old buildings make noises. That happens. But the sound continued. Scratch, pause, scratch, pause. Perfect rhythm. Intentional. I froze, listening. My heart beat faster. I refused to move. If I ignored it, it would stop. That is what logic says. Fear grows when attention feeds it. So I stayed still. The scratches continued. I swallowed hard. No. It was nothing. Nighttime imagination. Sleep deprivation. That happens. I closed my eyes briefly, telling myself to relax. In. Out. In. Out. When I opened them again, the room felt different. Heavier. Colder. Like someone had entered while I wasn't looking. Impossible. The door was closed. I always close it. Safety matters. Boundaries matter. I stared at the door. No movement. Good. Nothing. I exhaled. Relief. But then I noticed something. The handle. It was slightly turned. Not fully open, just shifted. My stomach dropped. I hadn't touched it. I never leave it like that. Someone had been there. Or something. I stepped back, heart racing. This couldn't be real. But the evidence remained. The scratches. The handle. The feeling of presence. I realized I wasn't alone. Something had entered. And it was still here. Watching. Waiting. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I backed away from the door, trying to convince myself it was nothing. Scratches. Old building settling. Shadows playing tricks. That happens. My heart raced. The handle remained slightly turned, subtle but undeniable. I swallowed hard. Someone, or something, had been here. I scanned the room. Everything appeared normal. Furniture in place. Bed untouched. No signs of forced entry. Yet the sense of presence remained. Watching. Patient. I tried to laugh nervously. Foolish. Imagination. Fatigue. That happens. I needed light. I approached the lamp. It flickered briefly, then stayed on. Good. Reassurance. I scanned the corners of the room. Shadows stretched strangely, elongated unnaturally. I shook my head. Not real. Just perception. That happens. I tried calling a friend. No signal. Of course. Perfect timing. Technology always fails at the worst moment. That happens. I paced the room slowly, trying to calm down. In. Out. In. Out. Heart rate steadying slightly. But then I noticed it. A faint sound. Soft. Slow. Behind me. I froze. No movement visible. Nothing. Yet it existed. I could feel it, pressure in the air, heavy and deliberate. The scratches on the door, the handle shifted, the quiet breathing in the shadows. All proof that I wasn't alone. Someone, or something, had entered my space. And it was still here. I didn't know where, but I could feel its presence. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I turned slowly, scanning the room. Nothing moved. No shadows shifting, no figures in the corners. Just the ordinary space I had always known. Yet it felt different, heavier, like the air itself was watching. I told myself it was paranoia. Nighttime anxiety. That happens. The human mind exaggerates threats when it feels unsafe. I breathed deeply. In. Out. In. Out. It helped slightly. My heart slowed. Logic returned. There was no intruder. No monster. No explanation beyond stress. I stepped toward the door, determined to check it again. The handle remained slightly turned. I touched it. Cold. Not unusual for metal, but it felt wrong, like it had been touched recently. I swallowed hard. No. Impossible. I hadn't left it that way. I always double-check. Safety matters. Boundaries matter. Someone had been here. Or something. I opened the door slowly. The hallway was empty. No footprints. No movement. Just silence. Good. That meant I was safe. I exhaled in relief. My mind must have played tricks. That happens. Old buildings creak. Doors shift slightly. Nothing more. I stepped into the hallway, scanning it carefully. Empty. No signs of intrusion. I laughed softly, nervous. See? Nothing. My imagination. I turned back to the room. The lamp's light flickered. Once. Twice. I froze. Electricity issues. Old wiring. That happens. But the timing felt wrong, too perfect, as if responding to my fear. I approached the lamp, touching the switch. It stabilized. Good. Normal. I exhaled. Everything was fine. I told myself I would sleep. Morning would fix it. Sunlight makes things ordinary. But deep down I still felt it, the presence, quiet and patient. Watching. Waiting. I tried to ignore it. Attention gives power to fear. I would not feed it. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I lay on the bed, trying to convince myself it was over. The scratches, the handle, the feeling of being watched, explainable things. Old buildings settle. Minds exaggerate. That happens. I stared at the ceiling, breathing slowly. In. Out. In. Out. My heart still raced, but logic returned. Nothing was wrong. No intruder. No presence. Just fear. I closed my eyes briefly. Sleep would help. Morning would fix it. Sunlight makes everything normal. But then I heard it again. A soft sound. Not scratching this time. Breathing. Slow. Deliberate. Right near the door. My eyes snapped open. I froze. No movement. No figure. But the air felt heavier, thicker, like something occupying the space. I told myself it was imagination. Nighttime tricks. That happens. The human mind invents sounds when anxious. I held still, listening. The breathing remained. Quiet but undeniable. Someone, or something, was in the room. I wanted to scream. I couldn't. My throat tightened. My body refused to move. Fear paralyzed me. I forced myself to breathe. In. Out. In. Out. It helped slightly. I scanned the room. Nothing. No shadows, no shapes. Just ordinary darkness. Yet the sensation remained, being observed. I swallowed hard. No. This was not real. I repeated it like a mantra. Imagination. Stress. Sleep deprivation. That happens. But deep down I didn't believe it. The breathing continued. Subtle. Patient. I turned my head slightly toward the door. Still closed. Handle unchanged. No scratches visible from this angle. Good. Normal. But the feeling of presence remained. Watching. Waiting. I realized I wasn't alone. Something had entered. And it wasn't leaving. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I couldn't stay still any longer. The breathing, subtle yet deliberate, pressed on my nerves. I rose slowly, trying not to make a sound. Every step felt heavy, measured, as if the air itself resisted my movement. I approached the door again, heart hammering. The handle remained slightly turned. Cold. Recent. Someone, or something, had been inside while I slept. I backed away, panic rising. My mind raced for explanations. Maintenance? Neighbors? Impossible. Locked door. No sign of entry. My apartment had remained secure. Yet evidence persisted. I turned toward the room. Shadows stretched unnaturally, corners darkened as if absorbing light. The air felt thick, suffocating. I could almost feel it watching from the shadows, patient, deliberate. My mind screamed to leave, but my body hesitated. Paralyzed by fear. I glanced at the bed, the pillow still slightly indented, the blanket disturbed. Evidence of a presence I couldn't explain. I whispered to myself, imagination. Stress. That happens. But I knew better. Footsteps, scratches, breathing, real. They existed. My pulse quickened. The night had become alive. Observing me. Testing me. I needed light. Any light. I grabbed the lamp. Flickered. Stabilized. Good. But the feeling remained. Eyes on me. Patience. Silence. The room, my sanctuary, had transformed into a hunting ground. Something had visited. Something remained. And I didn't know if it would let me go. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I stood in the middle of the room, trying to convince myself it was over. The breathing had stopped. The shadows remained still. Good. Normal. That meant nothing was here. Just imagination. Nighttime tricks. That happens. I repeated it like a mantra. Logic. Reason. Nothing supernatural. But the air still felt heavy, like something lingering. I glanced at the door. The handle remained slightly turned. Cold. Unchanged. Evidence. My stomach tightened. Someone had been inside. I checked the lock again. Secure. Good. No entry. No danger. Yet I didn't feel safe. I paced the room slowly, searching for explanations. Maintenance workers? No. They notify residents. Neighbors? Impossible. I would have heard the door. I always notice sounds. That's how apartments work, small noises, familiar rhythms. This was different. Quiet. Deliberate. I stopped near the window, staring outside. Darkness. The city slept. No cars. No distant voices. Just stillness. That felt wrong. Cities breathe. They hum. This one didn't. I shivered. Something was off. Deeply off. I turned back to the room. The pillow remained indented. The blanket slightly disturbed. Evidence of presence. I swallowed hard. No. It must be imagination. Stress. Sleep deprivation. That happens. Humans misinterpret details. But I couldn't ignore it. Someone, or something, had visited. And I didn't know if it would return. I realized I would not sleep easily. The night had changed me. My sanctuary no longer felt safe. I needed morning. Sunlight. Normality. Until then, I would wait. Watch. And hope nothing else arrived. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you.